Right. So the paper is like this. Let's start discussing. So yeah. So we got a lot to talk, people. Right. So I'm starting from the first answer. Right. Hold on a second. We're not in there. Right. So the first one says who invented the analytical engine, right? So that's the Charles Babbage, right? We know. And so the direct answer is going to be the Charles Babbage, right? So that, of course, you have to remember something from the history, right? So those are the stuff where you have to by hard, right? So it's the analytical engine which is given by the Charles Babbage. Now, if you are forgetting the history, right, the way you can memorize this is like write down, just take a piece of paper and write down the things, right? Then make a වැරදුනොත් මේකට අදාළව like analytical engine, put a dash and put Charles Babbage. So likewise, you list down who are the people who has invented these machineries, and here they have introduced doing some other questions regarding these first electronic computer, first digital computer kind of things. So it's better you go through the second lesson and gather those facts into a one piece of paper, right? So it will be easier for you to remember that, right? So keep it up. The third one, answer sheet of a multiple choice question paper can be read with. Now, this is not a very good question, right? So the in here, the answer they have taken is the scanner. The most appropriate one should be OMR, optical mark recognition, right? But OMR is not here. So digitizer, it is not going to be something like what we call a drawing pad. Light pen, again, it's going to be a pointing device. MICR, magnetic ink character recognition. So that is there to recognize the characters which is written from the magnetic ink. So POS terminals, it is for like POS means like point of sale terminals, that the terminals that you can see on the supermarkets, right? Where you are like calculating the bill, right? So like from these five answers, most appropriate one is the fourth one, but it is not a very good answer, right? So and the fourth one, yeah, they are asking computerized medical imaging system with use echoes of transmitted pulse are called. Now, echoes are used with the ultrasound scans, right? So ඒක අපිට echo එක කියන එකෙන්ම පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩේ අල්ල ගන්න පුළුවන්. When it comes to the CAT, CT, and PET scan, all these things are using like some rays or like electromagnetic waves, right? Not the sounds, even X-rays. X-ray is not an electromagnetic one. It's a different kind of a category. But when it comes to the ultrasound scan, it is definitely sending a wave signal or like the sound, and when it reflects, once the sound is hit on a particular object, so it creates the image on the screen, right? So like we use these ultrasound scans for scan many parts of our body, right? So we scan heart, and even little babies are being scanned like this, right? When they're in a mother's womb, right? So ultrasound scan is going to be the answer. Right now you will see like the question types like this like will be like downtrending when it comes to the questions in the modern papers like in 2017, 18 and 19, right, as well as 20, right? So since this is the very first paper that you can find in the A levels, there are some what we call like the traditional type of questions and more into the book. දැන් එන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ඒක අර පොත්තෙන්ම නැතුව හිතලා පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩ කරන තැනට හිමින් හිමින් change වෙන ගමන් තියෙනවා. Right? So let's see. Okay. So the sixth one, and Enoch, Putta, I need the incorrect answers. I have gathered the incorrect answers from the others as well. So we are discussing about the incorrect questions, right? So Putta, it's better you send your incorrect answers as well, so I can add those things up to this, right? And the sixth one, the abbreviation GSM. Yeah, GSM stands for GSM is not in your syllabus now, first thing, right? So you can omit it. Doesn't matter, you can take all marks for that, right? But it's better you know about the GSM, right? So the GSM means Global System for Mobile Communication, right? So that is what you call as GSM, right? So now this is out of your syllabus, right? We are not talking about GSM, but it's better you know, right? So this is out. So let me mark how many out of syllabus are there. So the sixth one is out, right? Which of the following database type is widely used in computer application? The seventh one, it says, which of the following database type is widely used in computer application? Now, it is the relational database, like we discuss about this, right? And again, this question is a questionable one, right? Because widely used කියන එක, someone can argue, right? How you can say like relational database is the widely used one. Why not object oriented one? Like now, if you think about nowadays, it's like tie to tie, the relational and the object oriented one, right? But here they have taken the answer as the fourth one, right? The relational. So like when you got something like this, it's better you think about the things that we learn through our syllabus. So they are testing that particular thing, right? The eighth one, the main role of a router in a computer network. So router is doing the routing part, or like telling what is the way that a particular data can flow for the moment, right? If he can see let's say three routes, router will say, okay, you go on the route which have the minimum traffic, right? So that is what router does, right? So it says the eighth one, to broadcast data packets to all hosts in a network, which is like broadcasting data packets to all hosts in the network. That is done by the switch, not by the router. Router is the one which involves when you are connecting one particular network to another particular network, right? So broadcast data packets to all hosts in the network. This is done by the switch. Bhashita, both are correct, switch or a hub, right? Because both are doing the same thing, right? To monitor the network for malicious activities. This is, we can say, firewall as well as antivirus. To transmit the received signal at a higher power. මේක කරන්නේ repeater එහෙමත් නැත්නම් amplifier, right? Both those things are not in your syllabus now. To allow host in two networks to communicate. Ah, yeah, now that can be taken as an answer. The fifth one, to allow load balancing between multiple separate networks. Yeah, the fourth one can be taken as the answer, right? So the fourth one is going to be the correct answer. The load balancing between multiple separate networks, load balancing, no, it is definitely not a role of a router, right? So fourth one can be taken as the answer, right? Ninth one is out of syllabus, right? If you if you got it incorrect, don't worry, right? No one has said that is incorrect. So the 10th, Enoch, I didn't receive the incorrect answers of yours, Puta. Can you send it?
ඒකස මේ ඔක්කොම වන්නද
Oh, ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාගේ incorrect answers ටික මට chat එකේ එවන්නකෝ, so I can mark those things.
දැන් කරපු ටිකේදස නැත්තම් මේ
නෑ
ඉතුරු වගේ
total paper එක ඔයා කරා නේද? කරලා mark කරගත්තද?
ඔව් මාක් කරගන්න ගත්තේ නෑ
mark ඔයාගේ paper marking scheme එක තියෙනවද? මේ past paper book එකේ marking scheme එක තියෙනවද?
ඔව් සර් තියෙනවා
ඒකෙන් බලලා ටක් ගාලා මේ උත්තර ටික මාක් කරගන්න. මාක් කරලා මට තේරුම් කෙනෙක් වැරදි ටික එවන්න. වැරදි ටිකයි ඔයාට තව මොනවා හරි ක්ලියර් කරගන්න තියෙනවා නම් question එකක් ඒවත් එවන්න. No problem. And people, if you want to clear any one of these questions, just let me know, even though it is correct, right? Okay. So I'm moving forward. The 10th one, which of the following best describes the order of the testing conducted in the software development process? Yeah. So first we do unit testing, then we do integration testing, then we do system testing. Finally, we do acceptance testing. Now here you got only 3: acceptance, integration, testing, which is not the correct order. So unit comes first. So this is wrong. Integrated acceptance unit, no, unit comes first, again wrong. Integrated unit acceptance, no, unit comes first. So unit acceptance integrate, no, unit integrate acceptance in that, if you think about that order. So it's going to be unit integrate and acceptance. So it's going to be the fifth answer, right? So the unit testing means testing the system by the programmers, because those are the people who have who are having the small units to be created, right? So they search or they test their particular work. So that is what we call unit testing. So later some of the units are being integrated and see whether those integrated set or the module is working properly. So that is what we call integration testing. Then later all the integrations and the single units will be collect together and create this particular big system and check for that system, which is called the system unit. Finally, we are handing over that to the client and ask him to test by himself whether it is okay or not, which we call the acceptance testing, right? So it happens in an order: first unit, then the integration, then the system, and then the acceptance, right? So according to these 3 tests given here, so the order should be unit, integration, and acceptance, right? Okay, and the 11th. So far, people, is that clear? Can I have the confirmation, please? භාෂිත trace out එකේ කරන්නේ අපි කම්පියුටර් එකක data එකක් කොහොමද travel වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක trace කරන එක. ඒක අපේ syllabus එකේ නැහැ, right? ඒතර trace route එකෙන් කරන්නේ ඒක. මම data එකක් යවුවා, මේක මොන විදිහටද මොන devices හරහාද ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක trace කරන එක, right? Okay, so the 11th Which of the following is a classification of systems? Yeah. So like we classified the systems like open and close, uh, physical and live, or like physical and natural, right? And there is another classification, what we call that. Okay. I'm not getting it. Hold on. Let me check. Yes, Bashit. The other one is man-made and natural. Yes. So we have open and close, man-made and natural, and physical and live, or like live and non-live. Sajivi saha ajivi kiya hai, right? So here, close and hybrid, no, it's not a comparison like that. Natural and structured, not again. Open and structured, not again. Structured and hybrid, not again. So it's going to be the third answer. Right, Onelidua, we have start discussing the 2011. So if you can mark the paper and send me the incorrect answer, so I can add those things to the list, Dua, right? We are discussing the incorrect ones, right? So far we have done until the 10th, and Sasita, do the same, Puda, right? Mark the paper. I hope you have the marking scheme, people. And let me send you the marking scheme as well. Hold on. So you can refer the original marking scheme. Right now, the file that I'm sending here are the marking schemes from 2011 to 2019. It's a one particular PDF. මේගොල්ලෝ ගණීද එකත් බලමු. ගත්තොත් මම එවන්නම්. So yeah, this is the chat. Since it is okay, okay. Right. So what I'm sending is the marking schemes from 2011 to 2019. Right. I'll send you the 2020, 21 later. Right. So from that you can take the idea. So these are the original marking schemes. So sometimes the printed books are having some problems or some printing mistakes. Right. So since you have got the original ones, so it's better you discuss with those. Right. Okay, so the next question, and Oneli, Sasita, and Enuka. Mata question incorrect answers to Kevanda, so I can add it to the this particular one, right? Okay, so the 13th, which of the following best describe the home page of a website? Now, home page means the page that we can find when we type the particular URL or the domain name of the website. Right now, if you think about the google.com, so if we type www.google.com, the page that we are receiving is the home page, right? So that should be the idea when we are answering for this particular question, right? The index of the website, we can't say index of the website. The index page එක නිතරම home page එක නොවෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? The welcome page, kind of a doubt. A description of the website, no. The first page of the website, yeah, that can be taken because the first page gives the links to all other pages. So that is why we call that the home page, right? And a web page that presents short journal entries, no, no. The most suitable answer can be taken as the first page of the website, the fourth one, right? And the 14th, and people, if you got any questions regarding this about what I am discussing, just ask, right? You can always argue with that, right? And 14th, a manager of an engineering manufacturing company is considering whether to recruit more people in the near future. What is the most relevant information in this case he has to consider? So he is going to recruit people. So his requirement is recruit more people in the near future, right? So they are asking what is the most relevant information in this case he has to consider. Personal records of all the employees. It can exist in employees again. So it doesn't give him any decision of future recruitment. ඉස්සරහට කොච්චර ගන්න ඕනද කියලා අපි බලන්න ඕනේ. ඒතකොට දැන් ඉන්න කට්ටියගේ personal details බලලා තේරුමක් නැහැ. It won't give him a solid information to make his decision, right? Previous reports of all the recruited people, not much influenceable. The attendance sheet of all the employees, attendance sheet. So it will give him a clue who, like how many has been attended and how many has not. Maybe little bit influence, but not majorly. Detailed report of engineering specification and manufacturing order. That can influence up to some level, right? So like it's not clear whether they are talking about the future orders or the existing orders, but engineering specification and manufacturing order can give some clue what are the requirements, like අපි ගාව ඉන්න කට්ටිය මදීද, do we need to recruit more, or kind of an information. But the final one gives a solid information, summary report of present and projected personal requirements. It's a direct information, right? Present and projected. දැන් ඉන්න ප්‍රමාණය ඉස්සරහට අවශ්‍ය වෙන ප්‍රමාණය. So that gives a solid fact. So most suitable one is the fifth one, right? Okay, so the 16th, what is the main function of DHCP server? Right, hold on a second, people. I need to check the WhatsApp whether you have sent me some answers. Okay, great. All right, only I received yours to let me add those things to the my list. Ninth one, yeah, ninth one. We didn't discuss the ninth one though. Let's discuss that. And 17th, it's due to discuss, yeah. And 19th, and 39th and 40th, correct. 41st, 42nd, 48th. Yeah, all right. Okay, already I got yours. And yeah, this is from Sasita. Upek, right? Okay. Upek, I got yours as well. So it's 15. 16, 19, 21, 23rd, 27, 33rd, 34th, 35th, 36th, 45th, and 50. Yes, okay. Okay, Upek, I got yours as well. And Sasita, has you sent me the correct answers to the right. Ah, Sasita, right, okay. I received over here. It's 2021, 24, 25th, 41st, 46th, 7th. Yeah, right, okay, right. Right, so like we have like almost all the questions to be discussed, right? So let's see. Okay, so 15th, the calculation, people be very careful when you are doing these kind of things. So this is hexadecimal calculation that we have to do over here. So it's C1A, which is going to added with 4A2, right? So A means what? 10, C means 12, right? And here A means 10 as well. So 10 plus 2, it's going to be 12. 12 means C. A plus 1, that means 11. 11 means B, right? And C is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So 16, it has one group of 16s and 0 remaining. So since the addition is 16 or more, we have to think how many group of 16 in that answer. That number of groups should be taken to the other side or the other place, and the remaining should put as a part of the answer. So 12 plus 4 means 16. There is one group of 16 and 0 is remaining. So we put 0 here and 1 will be taken over here since we got nothing to add that one with. So your answer is going to be 10 BC 16, right? So it's going to be the fifth answer, right? Okay. If anyone got any need any clarification regarding that, let me know, right? Okay, so the 16th, what is the main function of DHCP server? What is the main function of DHCP server? To apply or to assign IP addresses dynamically, right? Up on a request, right? So when a host computer should request an IP, so DHCP will assign a one when the request is arrived, right? So allocating IP address, yeah, but dynamically තිබුණා නම් හොඳයි. Resolving domain name from IP address, no, this is done by the DNS. Providing directory service to the user, it's not what is done by the DHCP. Directory service එක දෙන්නේ මට මතක විදියට application server එකකින්, right? Sharing an internet connection among users, this is done by the proxy, right? Protecting a computer network from virus attack, oh yeah, it's the firewall and the virus guard. So appropriate one is going to be the first one, allocating IP addresses, and it's better it say dynamically, right? But anyway, IP address allocation is happening, right? So 16 is going to be 1. 17th, consider the IP address, this particular IP address and the subnet mask of this. How many hosts can be directly connected to this network? Now, to find out how many that we can connect with a particular network, we have to find how many host bits are there in the IP address. So it doesn't matter what is the IP address is since the subnet mask is given. So we can find how many bits are there for the host when we extracted the subnet mask. So it says 255.255.255.224. So that means this is going to be 8 ones and this is going to be 8 ones. And the next 225 is going to be 8 ones as well. And 224 is made out of 128 plus 64 will give you 192 plus 32 is going to give you 224, right? So the rest is going to be zeros. So there will be 5 zeros, right? 3, 1 and 5 zeros. And we know to generate the subnet mask, the base is put in ones to the net IDs, put in zeros to the host IDs. So this is going to be your host ID, right? So the number of host we can generate by 2 to the power host ID, host bits minus 2. So that means 2 to the power 5 minus 2, which is going to give you 30, right? So the answer is going to be the third one, right? So if you are not clear with what I am doing, you can ask. Right, moving to the 18th question. What is the most suitable media to transmit a high definition video over a distance of 5 kilometers? Now, 5 kilometers is something little bit big distance, right? So what we can do is we can use uh, a media which has a very good quality and which has a very good strength of communicating the signals, right? So here they have said radio waves, twisted pair copper cables, fiber optic cables, coaxial cables, open wire cables. And he's asking what is the most suitable media to transmit high definition video over a distance of 5 kilometers. So since it is the high definition video, right, it should contain some quality inside it. So the most appropriate one is going to be the fiber optics, right? Definitely twisted pair, coaxial, open wires are not going to be, and radio waves are not that capable of sending the high definition videos, right? So for 18, much appropriate answer is the third one, right? 19th, the transport layer of the OSI reference model provides what? The flow control, right? Transport layer එකේදී තමයි flow control එක manage කරන්නේ. I think I have given you the functions which is done by each and every layer when we are discussing the OSI model. So look for that, right? Flow control happens in the transport layer, right? And error correction, error detection can be happen at the network layer, right? Routing of data packets, it is happening in the it happens in two different places, right? මුලින්ම session layer එකේදී ඒගොල්ලෝ හොයාගන්නවා පාර කොහොමද කියලා, what is the best path that they can deliver, right? And when it comes to the data link layer, they are doing the actual transportation, right? So here in the 19th, it's the flow control, right? So 20th, which of the following Python program segment is syntactically correct? Yeah, so all you have to do, did I change anything? Yeah, I guess, right. Right, so what is the, which of the following Python program segment is syntactically correct? So you only need to search for the syntax errors. So the first one is wrong because this particular line should be indented because for is a compound statement. So after the colon, the next line should be indented, right? And the second, again the same error, indentation, right? Third, it seems to be correct. Fourth, yeah, the colon is missing, right? In all other cases, colon were there. So here colon is missing. So because of that, it is wrong. And the fifth, it's an unwanted indentation. Here you can find an unwanted indentation, right? So the correct answer is going to be the third one. Right? Okay. People, how about those 10 questions? Is that clear? Any questions regarding that? Yes, everyone, is that clear? Right, great. Okay. So moving to the 21st. Right. We didn't discuss the ninth question. Only I think Dua, ninth question, you don't need to worry about that. Dua. It is out of syllabus, right? So we found two out of syllabus questions over here, the sixth one and the ninth one, right? The answer is going to be the ping, right? But it is not in your syllabus now, right? So don't worry about it. Right. So the 21st, yes, 21st is asked to be, right, okay, a flow chart. Consider the given flow chart. Which of the following statement about the algorithm represented by a flow chart is incorrect? And it says it stops when the user enters value -1, right? So let's see what happens actually. It starts. So x will become 5. Let me hand trace this. So x will become 5. And I have a positive integer. Can you guess it? A question is asked. Get a number from the user. So y is the respond, which is from the user. So according to the first answer, it stops when the user enters value -1. So let's see what happens when the y got -1. So y is given as -1. So this check-in is y less than 0. So yes, now y is less than 0. So yes, it stops. So yes, the first one should be correct one. -1 is given, it is stopped. Second, it stops when the user enters value 5. Yeah, so that means instead of -1, he's providing 5. So if is y less than 5, this condition is going to be wrong regarding 5. So then is x equals to y? Yes. So y is 5, x is 5 as per the second answer. So they are equal. Then the output you are correct, then it stops. But here it stops when the user enters value 5.
So
Now,
excuse me.
Dilaka.
So පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා තියෙන්නේ start එකට පස්සේ තියෙන symbol එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන්නේ let x equal 5 කියලා ඒක let කියන එකෙන් මොකක්ද අදහස් කරන්නේ?
x පහ වෙන්න ඉඩ හරින්න කියන්නේ. right, ඒ කියන්නේ අපි අර consider x as 5 කියනවා වගේ තමයි. let කියන එක නැතුව x equal 5 කියන එක දැම්මත් the same meaning. right? හරි. right. So 5 දුන්නම you are correct කියන එක output කරලා it's going to stop. right? So eventually it's going to stop anyway, but let's see that this can be a correct answer, can be considered as a correct one, but saying stop straight away can cause you some matters. The third one, it gives the message you are very close when the user enters the value 5, value 9, I'm sorry, value 9. So if I give value 9 over here, first condition is false. So it comes to the second condition and it is false as well because it is not equals. And the third condition considered is y minus x less than 3. So 9 minus 5 is 4. It is not less than 3. So it goes on no path here and goes up here and it will ask for another number. It is not clearly given. You are very close output. So this says it gives the message you are very close. But according to our hand tracing, it's not going to give us. So definitely this is incorrect. So the third one is going to be the answer for the 21st, right? And in the marking scheme, they have taken the fourth as well. It gives the message you are very close when the user enters value 6. Yeah, why is that? It gives the message you are very close when the user enters value 6. 6 is given, 6 minus 5 is 1. Yeah, so it is correct. So they're asking for the incorrect one. No, not the fourth one, people. Not the fourth one. Y minus x is 1 less than 3 years. Yeah, it's only 3. Marking scheme says 3 and 4 both are correct, but I don't think so. Oh, fourth එක ගන්න බෑ. third තමයි. සමහර විට මේක Tamil paper එකේ හරි වෙන සිංහල paper එකේ හරි මොකක් හරි වෙනසක් වෙලා තියෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ. Maybe කියන්නේ original scheme එකේ 3 and 4 කියලා දෙකම indicate කරලා තියෙනවා for some reason, but according to the English one, third one is the answer. Right? The fourth one is a correct response. Fifth is also a correct response. If the value entered by the user is 8, it allows the user to enter another value. Yes, it is. Right? Because it is not equals with the x. So all other 4 seems to be correct. So the incorrect one is going to be the third. Right, 22nd. Which of the following statement best describes the result of hard disk fragmentation? So we know fragmentation means like scatter away the data all over the hard disk. So they ask in which of the following statement best describe result of the hard disk. Now, what happens because of the fragmentation? Hard disk access speed is reduced. That actually can happen. The hard disk access speed is reduced because data is scattered here and there. So if we need to access a particular data, hard disk need to be rotated and head need to be moved for several times, right? So it will take time, right? If it is not being scattered, so we can read it in a very quick manner. So first one can be taken as an answer, right? And second says network access speed becomes low. No, will not happen because of due to the fragmentation. Hard disk become totally inaccessible. No, fragmentation tibuna kiyala, like we are not prevented by accessing the hard disk. Number of bad sectors get increased. No, it's not going to be. Some data will get erased from the hard disk. Again, no, fragmentation won't cause any data erase, right? So the first one is going to be the answer anyway. Right, and right. So the 23rd, for 23rd, the question is, consider the following statement about computerized database. This is about the database. So it says, A says need more human resource to manage the computerized database than a manual system. No, that is wrong. We don't need more human resource. We need less human resource because manual system එක වැඩ කරන්න 10 දෙනෙක් හිටියා නම් ඊට වඩා අඩුවෙන් තමයි අපිට manpower ඕන වෙන්නේ when there is a database, because database do some fabulous tasks on behalf of the men. Retrieval of data is efficient than manual system. Definitely, retrieval is efficient. You can search the data in a second, but when it comes to the manual, we have to turn the pages and see. No data duplication. No data duplication කියන එක half truth එකක්. We can't take like there is no data duplication. Data duplication is there, but it is minimal, right? So C can be a correct one, right? D, need more space to store data than a manual system. Definitely wrong. Need more space to store data than a manual system. This is definitely wrong. So they are asking the correct statement. So definitely A and D shouldn't be in your answer. So second one is gone, fifth one is gone, and fourth one is gone. And the first one as well. So we are left with third one. B and C only. 23rd. Yeah, the third one is the answer. Oh, Dinaka.
සර් දැන් මේක තව ආන්සර් එකක් තිබ්බොතින් B only කියලා
Oh.
අපිට ගන්න වෙන්නේ ඒකද
එහෙම වුණොත් B only කියලා යන එක හොඳයි. මොකද no data duplication කියන එක no කියලා අපිට කියන්න බැහැනේ. ඒක තියෙනවා ඒක අඩුයි ගොඩක්. right? එහෙම වුණොත් B only තිබ්බොත් B only යන එක තමයි හරියන්නේ.
හරියි.
right?
Thank you sir.
Okay. So then 24th. Consider the following system description and the relations A, B, C, and D. Give below to answer the questions 24, 25, and 26. Okay. So this is regarding the kind of a normalization part as well as the ER diagramming part. So it says principal of a national school wants to develop a database, maintain admission number, student name, address, national identity card number, and the date of birth. Of advanced level students, the principal also want to know the marks obtained for each subject by the student, right? In addition to the above requirement, the principal needs to know the subject assigned to the teacher, right? So which of the above relations are in third normal form? Now that can be achieved just by looking at the schema. Now, if you think about the student, there's only admission number, student name, address, date of birth, NIC. Now here they haven't mentioned you what is the primary key. Now that is going to be something disadvantage for you. So we have to assume by our experience, this is going to be the primary key. So the admission number, subject code, and when it comes to the mark, admission number and subject code both, and teacher, it's going to be teacher number, right? But it's better they say what are the primary keys, because without that, even the question is also not specifying any primary keys, so we only can go with the assumptions, right? And since they are asking for the primary keys at the 25th question, so we have to assume the normal way that we are going to do, right? So student name, address, DOB, and NIC, both, everything is depending on the admission number, right? So this doesn't have any repeating columns, unwanted repetition is not there, and data duplication cannot be found, right? Atomic values can be given, and no transitive dependency as well. So we can take it as 3 and F. Subject code and subject name only, so dependency happens very nicely, and again no unwanted repetition, and again no transitive dependency, so third normal form. For marks, I told you it's admission number and subject code, which is going to be, and marks obtained is going to be a descriptive attribute. Again, Marks obtained depends on both the admission code and subject code, because marks obtained is given for a particular student regarding a particular subject. So marks is depend on both the entities, right? So dependency is okay, no transitive dependencies as well, right? And no unwanted repetitions, right? You can see the repetitions under the admission number and subject code, but it is not unwanted one, right? So then this can be taken as 3NF as well. When it comes to the teacher number, subject code, teacher name, subject name is there. So definitely, teacher name is going to depend on the teacher number, subject code is going to depend on the subject name. Subject name is going to depend on the subject code, right? So we can argue it in many different ways, right? If we consider teacher number as the primary key, it's the only primary key. Subject name is not dependent on the teacher number, so non-dependency effects. And if someone says teacher number and subject code both are taken here, then teacher name depends on the teacher number only. Subject name depends on the subject code only. So partial dependency consists. So anyway, that means it's not going to be third normal form, and it's going to be not even second normal form, because second normal form, if you got second normal form, all the non-primary key attributes are depending on the primary key. Right here, non-dependency or partial dependency can be there. So this is going to be 1NF, right? It is the best normal form that we can assign to that. So the answer is going to be A, B, and C, which is the third one, right? So in 25th, it is an easy one. Which of the following combination of attributes provide a minimal set of primary key for the relation student, subject, and mark? So student, student number, subject, subject code, marks, student ID or the index, and the subject code together, right? So what we have here? Yeah, first one is wrong, because admission number and NIC is given to the student. Because of this, it is going to be wrong. Second one, NIC, subject code, no. NIC, someone can propose NIC as a primary key of the student, and subject code as well. But when it comes to the marks, just subject code is not enough, right? Because of that it is wrong. And admission number, subject code, no, again, this particular one. And admission number, subject code, admission number and subject code, yeah, that is going to be the correct answer. Last one is wrong, because subject name is there. Subject name cannot be a particular primary key, right? So the fourth one is going to be the answer. Right, people, is that clear up to this point? Yes, everyone? Can I have the confirmation? Okay. Right. So moving to the next page, 26th. Right, it's the SQL. Right, so when it comes to the SQL, it says which of the following SQL statement would produce an output with admission number, name of the student, subject code, marks obtained. So we have four things to be output: admission number, name of the student, subject code, and marks. Now, as I told you, once you are given with a SQL statement, to select some things, first you have to figure out what are the things that you are going to select and from which table that you are going to select these things. So they're asking admission number, name of the student, subject code and marks. There you can find these things. Let's take a look at of this schema. So admission number, student name, subject, was it the subject code? Yeah, subject code and marks. So admission number, student name. Now admission number, you can find it over here as well as here. Student name over here only, nowhere else it is been published. And subject code, you can find it over here as well as here, right? And marks obtained, so you can find it over here. Right now, even though the subject code exists in the B schema, which is the subject schema, we can collect the same subject code from C as well. So it's better you select this and these. Tables to be select these things, right? Otherwise, like considering the third one will make this little bit messy, right? So you can say select. Let's now take a look at the answers. So it says select student name, subject code, marks obtained from student mark, where student.admission number equals marks.admission number. Student name is taken, subject code is taken, marks is taken, but admission number is missing. So due to the admission number, it is wrong. And second one, it says select student admission number, comma, student name, comma, subject code, comma, student dot marks obtained, right? So when we, you know that when we are referring into the multiple tables, we can refer a particular field by the table name, right? So that is what they have done over here, student dot marks obtained. From student comma marks, where student dot admission number equals marks dot admission number. Student dot admission number, student name, subject code, student dot marks obtained. Yeah. So second one can be taken as the correct one. Third one, select student admission number, student name, subject code, marks obtained from student comma marks, where student dot admission number equal marks or admission number. Is that the same answer? People, there is a problem in the second one. What is the problem? We don't have student dot marks obtained. We have marks dot marks obtained. Student කියන table එකේ marks obtained කියලා එකක් නැහැ. So because of that, this is wrong. So third one, it seems to be correct. Student dot admission number, student name, subject code, marks obtained from student comma marks, student dot admission number equal marks dot admission number. Right, so the third one can be taken as the correct one. Fourth, select student dot admission number, student name, subject code, marks obtained from student comma marks, student dot admission number equals admission number. This is where the problem is. Here you will be having an error, right? Because student dot admission number equals admission number means කොහේ තියෙන admission number එක දීලා හොයාගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. Select student admission, select student dot admission number, student name, comma, subject code, comma, marks obtained from student, comma, marks. Yeah, same mistake has done. Admission number equals marks dot admission number. Here. Right, so the answer is going to be the third one. Right. So the 27th, yeah, 27th is asked as well. Which of the following would be the result if Boolean rep expression this is simplified by the De Morgan laws. So let's apply the De Morgan laws. So it says x plus y total bar dot x bar plus y bars total bar. X dot y total bar is going to give you x bar dot y bar. And the x bar plus y bars total bar can be decomposed x double bar dot y double bar. Right? So now we got dots in everywhere. So that means x bar dot y bar, you can cancel the brackets, x dot y. So you know x dot x y is 0, y dot y bar is 0. So the final answer is going to be the 0 because 0 dot 0 provides a 0. Right? And 28, no one has asked 28 to solve. 29th. Consider the following properties. A is density, B is capacity, C is security, D is cost, and E is access time. Which of the above are being used as the main properties to classify different types of memories? Now, when we classify the memory, we talk about the capacity, cost per bit, access speed, access time, right? As well as density, right? Those kind of things we talk about, but we are not talking about any security. So instead of C, we can take all other things as the factors that we are going to consider. So the answer straight away given by the 5th, right? 29th, it's going to be 5th. We are not going to consider security when it comes to the memory. Right? Okay. So next is the 32nd. 32nd, where is 32nd? Here. Consider the following statement with respect to online services, right? Okay. A customer should have access to an online services. All right, yes, that can be considered. So they are asking which of the above item are essential in online ordering, right? So customer should have access to online services. Yes, that can be taken as essential. Customer should possesses an electronic mechanism to make payments. Okay, electronic mechanism. Customer should possess an electronic mechanism to make payment. That is a little bit doubtful, but yeah, since it is done an online, then the problem is we have an option called cash on delivery, right? So still we can order all the things in online and we can pay when it arrives here, right? So it's doubtful, right? But it's a 50-50 answer. It's going to be right. So at the time of placing the order for an item, the identifier of the customer should be established. At the time of placing the order for an item, the identifier of the customer should be established. Oh, that's also a doubtful one. Sometimes, yeah, it's like this. Sometimes they asking us to introduce ourselves. Sometimes they ask us to make a profile and do the purchasing. So in that case, we have pre-informed who we are. At the time of placing the order for an item, the identity of the customer should be established. So we can take it as an incorrect one, right? Placing of the order, now will when we order pizza online, we can just give an instant order, right? එතනදී අපි කවුද කියලා define කරනවා. Yeah, it's doubtful, people. It's doubtful, right? Let's see. Part D: service providers should provide online services. Yeah, that is a must, right? Service provider should provide online services because they are asking which of the above items are essential in online ordering. So it is. And D can be taken as a correct one, definitely. Both the customer and the service provider should be in the same no, definitely not. Definitely not. Right? So A and D must be in your answer, but not E. So fifth answer is gone, E is there. Fourth answer is gone, E is there. First one, A, yeah, in the first and the second, D is not inside it. So we can omit these two as well. So the third one can be taken as a correct answer. Right? For 32nd, the third one. Okay, 33rd, consider the following statement. Reading time from memory was assumed to be negligible. Okay. Utilization of hierarchical memory structure, inability to foresee the limitation of the processor clock frequency. Which of the above prevented the technology advancement beyond the von Neumann architecture? Yeah, now when it comes to the von Neumann architecture, it's going to be A and C, right? Because reading time from memory was assumed to be negligible. You can see, like, you can remember the von Neumann architecture. They are like taking the things into the memory and send it to the CPU to do the execution. Then will be output using the output devices, or will be stored for a further processing, or like for the further use. Right, so there this latency is not considered, right? ඒකී ඒගොල්ලෝ කොච්චර වෙලාවක් යනවද කියන එක ඒක නිකන් අතහැරලා දාලා තියෙන negligible කියලා තියෙනවා, right? And inability to foresee the limitation of processor clock frequency. Yeah, that is another fact that we are talking when we talking beyond the von Neumann architecture, right? So, but not the B, utilization of hierarchical memory structure. No, hierarchical memory structure is not affected to think beyond the von Neumann architecture, right? It's kind of a theory one, right? So we can go with the fifth, A and C only, the 33rd. 34th, consider the following computer applications: guiding tourists based on their current location, customization of automobiles, advertising via internet, customization of domestic environment. Which of the above applications are most favorably benefit from ubiquitous computing? Ubiquitous computing is not in your syllabus now, so you can take it out. So this is out of syllabus. Right, so ubiquitous computing is talking about kind of a smart system, right? එතනදී ubiquitous computing ගැන කතා කරනකොට අපි කතා කරන්නේ like enabling the computing without showing the infrastructure, right? So kind of a thing. So නිකන් දැනගෙන තියාගන්න, but ubiquitous is not in your syllabus, right? 35th, consider the following items: object-oriented, rapid application development, spiral structured waterfall. Okay, are the system development methodologies? Yeah, system development methodologies. So SDLC methodologies. Come on, methods kila hubana bada hondai. Right, waterfall is going to be there, spiral is going to be there, rapid application development is going to be there. So it's B, C, and E, right, which is the fourth one, right? Structured and object orient. These are not SDLC methodologies. We call this as the approaches that we can take, right? ඇත්තටම මේක methodologies කියලා අහන එක හරි අසාධාරණයි. මොකද methodologies තමයි අපි මේ දෙන්න කියලා කතා කරන්නේ. මේ තුන්දෙනාට කතා කරන්නේ අපි models කියලා. Right? Just a second, people. Oh. Right, ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ එච්චර හොඳ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලෝ හිස්තැන් තුනක් තියලා තියෙන නිසා අපිට නිකන් හිතා ගන්න පුළුවන් මොකක් ගැනද මේ කතා කරන්නේ කියලා. Right, but that's an unfair question, people. Methodologies and models. මේවා ඇත්තටම software development models. Right. 35th එකට ඔයගලන්ගේ හරි වුණත් වැරදි වුණත් ඒක හරි දාගන්න. Like it's not fair to have like that. 36th, consider the statement about the internet. Okay, so the internet is a global network of networks. Yes, so it's a simple general explanation about the internet. B, people and organizations who are connected to the internet can access its massive store of shared information. Yes, kind of a possible thing. People and organizations who are connected to the internet can access its massive store and share information. Yes. So A is correct, B is correct. W3C is in charge of internet. Now in charge, no, they are not actually in charge, they are maintaining it, right? No, like in charge, it means if you own something, we say we are in charge of that particular thing, right? So W3C, World Wide Web Consortium, is the one which manage the internet, but they don't own the internet, right? So we can't say in charge. Data can be downloaded only with file transfer protocol. Data can be downloaded only using file transfer protocol. Hold on. No. When it comes to the email attachment, we are not using FTP to download the things. It's the email protocol that helps us download. Right? So we can like only with කියන එකත් එක්ක තමයි අපිට manage වෙන්න වෙන්නේ. නැත්නම් ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට download and uploads, it always goes with the FTP, file transfer protocol, right? But there are certain ways, right? Anybody can publish information or create new services on the internet. Yes, if you can pay, or like if there is free space, we can do like we can go to the Instagram and put a comment, right? So anyone can do that, right? So yes, it can publish information by anyone. So it's going to be A, B, and E, which is going to be the second answer, 36th. Right, the second answer. 37th, consider the following Python data item. Python data types of the above data items A, B, C respectively. Yeah, so this is easy. This is float. Since this is limited with the square bracket, this is a list. And this is limited with curly braces and key colon value semicolon. I'm not the semicolon, it's a comma is there. So it is a dictionary, right? So float, list, and dictionary. Float, yeah, the first one, very first one, right? And what are the data structures? that we have is the list is there with the square brackets and with the parentheses. Tuple is there with the curly braces, and inside it, if it is maintaining key colon value structure or type, it's going to be a dictionary. Otherwise, it's going to be set data type, right? Curly braces වලින්ම ගන්න පුළුවන්. තව එක්කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා set data type, right? So here it's going to be float list and dictionary, right? So then the 38 people, how was it so far? Is it clear? Please give me a confirmation. Right, great. Okay, in 38, they are talking about select the correct layout corresponding to the following code segment of an HTML document. Yeah, what is the layout says about the unordered list. So definitely it's going to be bullets, not the numbers. So unordered list item fruits happens. So list item fruits will be there. And another unordered list is open. So when we open unordered list inside another unordered list, it's the type of the bullet can be changed, and it will be a little bit indented. So mango, and list item have they no, yeah, under the mango they have open another unordered list. So another bullet is going to come. So they say Giramb Dampara and then unordered list is closed. Again, may cut here. May take a list IT. So then list item is closed means the mango is closed. So pineapple. So pineapple. Then that list item is also closed, and as well as the unloaded list. And they have another list item called vegetables. So vegetables, yeah, they category, right? So it's going to be like this. So which matches? The second one. First one is wrong because the bullet types are not being changed. Second is correct. It has the perfect transformation, like transformation. Third one, again, bullets are wrong. Fourth one, bullets are wrong. And fifth one, bullets are wrong. So the second one. All right. The 39th. Yeah, Ranisha, yeah, it's better we know about that as well. Yeah, it seems to be like a disc, circle, and the square, right? Let me confirm that. Ranisha is asking what is the correct order. So let me check that for you. Yeah, they are not giving us a very direct clue regarding that. And if we make a particular unordered list over here, and yeah, if I make another unordered list over here, I'm going to close those from here. Oh, what's going on here? It's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was not choosing the angle bracket, but the moving ones, right? So hold on. Yeah, let's check this happens. Yeah, it seems to be disc, circle, and the square though. Yeah. Right. And again, to answer that particular question, doer, we really don't need that knowledge. Mokada, this is wrong because this and this is not in correct alignment, right? And again, this is wrong because these two are not being indented, and this is anyway wrong, no indentation at all. Here goes the same thing. These two are not being indented very well. So we really don't need to bother about what's the bullet that is going to come, but it's better you remember disc, circle, and the square, right? But to give the answer for this particular one, we don't need that, right? Okay, so the 39th, consider the following items. A is a radio, B text area, C select, D checkbox, E text box. Which of the above can go as attributes of an input element in a form? So what are the input elements? Like inside the input tag or the element, we are using type attribute. Then for the values for the type attribute can be given as radio, as checkbox, as text box. Api text box කියලා දෙන්නේ text කියලා දෙන්නේ, right? So හරිම උත්තරේ ආවොත් එන්න ඕනේ A and D, right? Uh, but here they have considered E as well. So the third one is the answer, right? We usually use input type text, not text box, right? Oh, hold on. 39th, they are saying the answer is as 2. Where was that? A, B, and D, A, B, and D. Which of the above can go as attributes of an input element in a form? Oh, that's doubtful. 39th, A, B, and D, text area. No, text area cannot be taken as an input of the attribute of the input element, right? Let me double check. Yeah, these are the input types. And yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of times, but not the text area. Text area is a separate element, right? So according to like, that's why I told you it's not the text box, it is just text, right? Text කියලා තියෙන්නේ. Right, so text area is not there, right? Definitely text area is not going to be. So the answer can be taken, the most appropriate one is radio and checkbox. Text area is a separate tag, select is a separate tag. There is nothing called text box, but we don't have AD and something else, right? So yeah, it's better you take all for this thing, not all කියලා කියන්නේ AD තියෙන උත්තර වලට හරි දෙන්න ගියොත් it's going to be second or the third, right? Yeah, or else just go with second or the third. Second දැම්මත් හරි ගන්න, third දැම්මත් හරි ගන්න. මොකද A and D must be inside, right? 40th, this is out paper. JavaScript is not there for your syllabus, so it is out of syllabus, so you can you can omit those things when you are calculating the total, right? And 41 as well, out of syllabus, XML, right? And 42nd, yeah, 42nd says consider the following statement about operating systems. Ubuntu is an open source operating system. Yes, Ubuntu. So like open source, Android, Linux, Ubuntu, there are many, right? It's better you remember about the Linux, Ubuntu, Androids, and all these things as the open source software as operating systems, right? So A is correct. Windows XP is a proprietary operating system. Yeah, definitely B is correct as well. Linux is a proprietary operating system. No, it is an open source one. So it's only A and B. Fourth one, something quite easy, right? 43rd, consider the following statement with respect to ER diagrams. An ER diagram has entities and relationships. Yes, that is correct. A cardinality of all relationships should be always be one-to-one. No, definitely not. It can be one to many or many to many as well. Entities may have attributes. Yes. There could be a binary and tertiary relationships. Yes, we can have. So the correct ones is the A, C, and D, which is going to be the fourth one. Right? So 43rd, it's the fourth answer. And in 44th, they are asking, consider the following statement about language translators. Right? So it is asking, interpreters convert the entire source program into object program at once. Interpreter converts the entire source program into object program at once. Wrong. Interpreter converting line by line, right? So it is wrong. Compiler converts entire source program into object program at once. Yeah, that is correct. That is compiler. Program written in high-level languages do not need language translators to execute on a typical computer. No, it is wrong. High-level languages must need a translator to convert the high-level language into the low-level language. So it needs a language translator. So this is wrong as well. So it's B only, the second one. Yeah, 44th, how about the answer? 44th, yeah, the second one is the answer. 45th, consider the following statement about programming languages. C program language is first generation language. No, first generation language means what? The machine language. Second generation language is what? The assembly language. And both those generations are considered as low level languages. Other than that, all other programs are going to be category under the third gen and the fourth gen, right? So C is going to be third generation language. This is wrong. Assembly language is a second generation language. Yes. Python is a second generation language. No, it is a third gen one, right? So in third gen, programmer has the programming language is much familiar with the programmer, and still programmer has to code a lot of things. In fourth generation language, the effort of the programmer is being reduced and given the hard work or the more works into the programming language side. So like SQL and the CSS are being considered as the fourth generation languages, right? Bhashita, no, Python is not fourth gen. Python අපි කතා කරන්නේ භාෂිත third gen කියලා. right? මොකද අපි ඒක code කරන්නම ඕනේනේ. එකින් එක යාට කියන්න ඕනේ. fourth generation languages එන්නේ භාෂිත කියන්නේ අපි පොඩි දෙයක් කියන්නේ. දැන් SQL වලට අපි යමක් හොයලා දෙන්න කියලා කිව්වම එයාම database එක access කරලා එයාම data ටික හොයාගෙන එයාම අපිට output එක හදලා දෙනවා. අපි කියන්නේ නැහැ table එකකට හදලා දෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙන්න කියලා. We are not going to say that. Right? So those kind of languages are considered as fourth generation language. භාෂිත Python පුළුවන් AI program කරන්න අරගන්න. Right? හැබැයි Python තාමත් AI එක program කරන්න අපි step by step. Right? Clear the භාෂිත? Right. Okay. So the answer is going to be B only for the 45th. 46. Consider the following statement in a program. Question is, which of the above are syntactically correct Python statement? This is correct. It is a comment. And we can't put comments in Python like this. This is a CSS comment, as well as this. Right? A equals 1, this is a comment. Yeah, this is correct. So A equals 1, 1 will be assigned to A, then after it is a comment. And hash initial value of A equals 1, this is still correct. It's not going to be a part of the program, but it's going to be a comment. Right? Syntactically correct. Right? So A, D, and E, which is the third one. Right? 47th. Consider the following assignment statements. Right? Ranisha, yes. CSS comment එක යන්නේ දුව C විදිහටත් යනවා B විදිහටත් යනවා මට මතක විදිහට. අපර කියන දුව මම කන්ෆර්ම් කරන්න. Yeah. in CSS, it's the slash and a star only. It's not the double line. Double line එක එන්නේ PHP වල මට මතක විදිහට. Hold on. Yes. In PHP, we are going to talk about the PHP. Right, in PHP, it's double slash. Right, so this is CSS comment, this is PHP comment. Right, so the 47th, consider the following assignment statement. Nimal's address. Now you can see it has a post office when it is starting Nimal, then another post office and S, then address and another post office. Now this is going to cause a problem. This can be considered as a string, but this part will cause you an error, right? So if you want to use an apostrophe inside your string, second way is the best way to use that. So you better have double quotes that limits the particular string, then it will be understood without a problem, right? So the first one is wrong, second one is correct. Third one, a comma b comma c equals 1, which is wrong. If you are assigning 3 variables at the left, you should have 3 things at the right as well, right? So it is wrong. D is correct, definitely. ABC is there, 1 2 string is there, so A is assigned with 1, B is assigned with 2, and C is assigned with string. Fourth is also correct. 1 is assigned to B and B is assigned to A. Right, so the correct ones are going to be B, D, and E, which is the fourth one. Susu, I need that. Yeah, okay. Right. So people, how was it so far? Is that clear? Can I have the confirmation? Yeah, Ranisha Dua, hold on. Ranisha, B is a PHP comment. C is a CSS comment too, right? Correct? All right. Others? Do you got any other question? No. Clear. Right? Okay. Pranisha, is that clear? B is going to be the PHP comment door. C is going to be the CSS one. Right. So moving forward. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, this question, 48. Now, 48 is something for you to struggle with, right? මොකද මේකේ hand trace කරලා ඔයගලන්ට හිතන්න ගියොත් it will take a lot of time, right? So what they are asking is which of the following Python statements should be included at the blank line to print the data items in the data structure named data in ascending order, right? So this is a sorting technique, right? And the sorting technique that you are having is the bubble sort, right? Let me show you the bubble sort. Yeah, so this is the bubble sort coding using the for loop, right? And now compare it with the question asked. Right? So it's kind of a matching is there, right? Data count minus one කියන එක len එකෙන් len data කියන එක in the coding they have take the len a list minus one directly, right? But in the question they take len data as the data count, then they prefer data count minus one. So here they have taken the len data, and here they have taken it inside the range function, right? ඒගොල්ලෝ question එකේදී len data එක data count එකට assign කරලා එකෙන් එකක් අඩු කරලා ගන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ. මේකේ len a list එකෙන් කෙලින්ම එකක් අඩු කරනවා කියලා මෙතන කියලා තියෙනවා. Right? So this is like since they are asking this in the ascending order, they need to go from the bigger index to the lower index, right? So it is something very similar, right? Then අපිට ඔය code එක ඔළුවේ මතක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඔය ප්‍රශ්නේ කොට දාගන්න, right? Otherwise you won't be able to like go through the things. Lamai, just give me a minute. Give me a second. Yeah. So you have to remember how the things are going to happen in here, right? Then you can have the idea that your answer is going to be the second one, right? But if you are arguing this, it will take some time, right? I'll show it you for a moment, but I'm not going to do the entire thing. It will take a very big process, right? So at the beginning, it says data equals 5, 1, 23, 10. So as you know, since this is a list, it is having the indexes 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? So data count equals len data. So data count is going to be a particular variable. So that is len data. Len data means the length of data variable. So it's going to be 4. Then they are starting a for loop for I in range data count minus 1. So here data count minus 1 means this represents 3, right? So I in range 3, if you write it like I in range within brackets 3, it's going to count from 0 to 3. So actually it counts 0, 1, 2, not 3 as well, right? මොකද බිඳුවේ ඉඳලා කියලා තියෙන තැනට එකක් අඩුවෙන් තමයි එන්නේ. මොකද starting point එකක් දීලා නැහැ. Only one digit, only one integer is considered inside it. So it starts from 0, then 1, then 2. Then it stops the iteration. So I is going to be 0, 1, 2 in its iteration, right? So for the first time, I is going to be 0, right? So from that, it accesses this particular loop as well. So it is an iteration again. So it says for k in range I comma data count. So I means what? The one which is over here. So I is going to be a 0 for the first time. Data count, we know it is 4. So for the second loop, k is going to change from 0 to 4. That means 0, 1, 2, 3 will be considered, right? So our purpose is what? Making that about data, arrange it in the ascending order. So the smaller one will be at the left and the bigger one will be at the right. So here you are missing a part. So yes, Bashita.
මේ ඩේට් එකේ කැරක්ටර්ස් ගාන එකේ ඉඳන් නෙමෙයිද පටන් ගන්නෙ?
indexers එක පටන් ගන්න භාෂිත බිඳුවේ ඉඳලා. අපි indexers පටන් ගන්න වාගේ දැන් list එකක් තිබ්බොත් ඔහොම 5 7 9 12 ඔහොම තිබ්බොත් indexers පටන් ගන්නේ 0 1 2 3 කියන විදිහට. minus indexers යන්නේ -1 -2 -3 -4. minus එක පටන් ගන්නේ -1 වලින්.
ඔව් සර් මේ ඒත් len ෆන්ක්ෂන් එකේදී මේ ඉන්ඩෙක්සස් ද කැරක්ටර්ස් ද සර් ගන්න
len function එකේ ගන්න characters ගන්න. ඒකනේ මේ data count එක 4යි කියලා ආවේ.
හරි සර්.
හරි. මේ range එකේ data count -1 කියලා තියෙන නිසා මම මෙතන 3 කියලා ලියුවේ.
හරි සර්.
len function එකේ තියෙන data count -1 කියලානේ, right? එතකොට තමයි 3 හැදෙන්නේ, right? Okay. So now we are in the second loop for k in range I comma data count. That means 0 to 4, right? So condition should be there. ඒක තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ condition එක මෙතන දීලා තියෙන්නේ, right? So then temp equal data I comma data k equals data k comma temp. දැන් මේකේ කරන්නේ මේ position එකක් මාරු කරන එක. data I වල තියෙන කෙනාව temp එකට දාලා data k වල ඉන්න කෙනාව data I වලට දානවා, temp එකේ ඉන්න කෙනාව data k එකට දානවා. කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ වගේ. එහෙම තැන් දෙකක ඉන්න කෙනා, right? මේක data I මේක data K. මෙයා තමයි temp. එතකොට මෙතන හිතන්නකො 40යි 50යි තියෙන්නේ කියලා. sorry 40යි 30යි තියෙන්නේ කියලා. So what you are doing is first you put 30 over here, then you put 40 over here, then you put 30 to this particular point. Right? හැබැයි Python වල අපිට ওই වැඩේ කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Python වල one shot මේ දෙන්නව මාරු කරන්න පුළුවන්. data I, data k equals data k, data I කියලා දීපු ගමන් තැන් දෙක මාරු කරගන්නවා ඒගොල්ලෝ. Right? But in most of the programming languages, this is the method that they use. Temporary තැනකට දාලා ඊට පස්සේ ආව නැවත අරගෙන අදාළ කෙනාට assign කරන එක. Right? So I'll go with this condition. මොකද මෙයා උත්තරේ වෙන නිසා මේකෙන් ගිහිල්ලා මම මේක hand trace කරලා පෙන්නන්නම්. ඇයි මේක මෙහෙම වෙන්නේ කියන එක. Right? So here they have to check if data I larger than data K. දැන් මේ වගේ ගානක් ඔයගලන්ට hand trace කරන්න ගියාම MCQ එකකදී සෑහෙන වෙලාවක් යනවා. ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ මේක MCQ එකකට ගැලපෙන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. right? මෙහෙම එකක් ආවොත් නිකමටවත් first advice මෙයාව තියලා ඊළඟ දේවල් ටික ඉවර කරලා අන්තිමට මෙයාව බලන්න. right? now if data I කියලා කියන්නේ data බිඳුව කියලා කියන්නේ 5 larger than data K. data K කියලා කියන්නේ බිඳුවමයි මේ වෙලාවේ data බිඳුව. ඒ කියන්නේ 5. ඒ දෙන්න විශාල නැහැ. එහෙනම් මේක කරන්නේ නැහැ. right? then it comes to the beginning කියලා කියන්නේ මේ for loop එක second for loop එක පටන් ගන්න තැනට එනවා ආයෙත්. then increase the value of K will become 1. then if data I කියන එක නා change වෙන්නේ නැහැ බිඳුව කියන්නේ 5. then compare it with data K කියලා කියන්නේ data 1. දැන් data 1 කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන 1. so data K කියන්නේ 1, data I කියලා කියන්නේ 5. right? 5 larger than 1. එතකොට ඒක true, මේක true. then data I given to the temp. so temp is a variable, data I is given to the temp. data I means 5. 5 is given to the temp. and then they say assign data K into data I. data K කියලා කියන්නේ 1. එයාව data I ට දාන්න කියලා කියන්නේ. කියන්නේ ඔයගලගේ list එකේ I කියන්නේ 1 කියන කෙනා මාරු වෙනවා මෙන්න මෙතනට. ඊට පස්සේ කියනවා temp දාන්න data K එක හිටපු දැන්. data K කියලා කියන්නේ data 1. කියන්නේ first position එකට temp එකේ තියෙන එක දාන්න. පහ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔකේ logic එක they compare the adjacent cells. ඒක ලොකු නම් ඒ කියන්නේ වම් අත පැත්තේ ඉන්න කෙනා ලොකු නම් දකුණු අත පැත්තේ ඉන්න කෙනාට වඩා ඒක මාරු කරනවා. right? ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟට බලනවා ඊළඟ positions දෙක. ඒ දෙන්නගේ ලොකු පොඩි එක්කෙනා බලලා පොඩි එක්කෙනා වම් අත පැත්තට මාරු කරනවා. මොකද වමනාව තමයි ascending order එකට මෙයාව හදන එක. right? so when you shift like that, so මේකට මේ shifting ගොඩක් අපිට කරන්න වෙනවා. right? ඔයගලන්ගේ අර bubble sort එකේ තියෙන picture එක ඔකට හරියටම match වෙනවා. right? හරි. hold on. මෙන්න මෙහෙම දෙයක් වෙන්නේ. right? දැන් මේ වගේ තියෙනකොට මේ එක iteration එකකදී කියන්නේ for loops දෙකක් තියෙනවනේ. ඇතුලේ තියෙන for loop එක සැරයක් iterate කරලා ඉවර වුණාම වෙන්නේ මේ list එකේ තියෙන අඩුම සංඛ්‍යාව වම් අත පැත්තට place වෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ආයෙත් for loop එක run කරන්න ඕනේ. කියන්නේ දෙවෙනි for loop, ඒ කියන්නේ උඩ තියෙන for loop එකේ දෙවෙනි iteration එක. right? ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයාගේ දෙවෙනි iteration එක. එයාගේ දෙවෙනි iteration එක ඇතුලේ මෙයාව ආයෙසරයක් කීප වාරයක් iterate වෙනවා. එහෙම iterate වුණාම මේ 26ට අමතරව තියෙන මේ ඉතිරි ටිකේ පොඩිම සංඛ්‍යාව 26 ගාවට කනෙක්ට් වෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ 54 ඉඳලා 93 වෙනකන් තියෙන දැන් 26 ඇවිල්ලා ඉවරනේ ඔල්රෙඩි එක iteration එකකින්. ඊට පස්සේ 54 ඉඳලා 93 වෙනකන් කන්සිඩර් කරලා ඒකෙන් අඩුම කෙනා ගන්නවා මෙතනට. හරි. ඒතර මේ ඊළඟ iteration එකේදී 26 ගාවට 17 කියන වැලියු එක එන්න ඕනේ. ඔය විදිහට මුළු iteration එකම බලන්න ඕනේ. right? ඒකයි මම කිව්වේ මේක අපිට hand trace කර කර බලන්න ගියොත් it's going to take you very big time. right? ඒ නිසා අපි කිව්වේ කියන්නේ අපිට අර කෝඩ් එක ඔළුවේ තියෙනවා නම් අපිට එක සැරේ මේක දාලා යන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. right? So in my opinion, don't bother on this question. ඒ 2012 paper එකේ 48 වෙනි ගාන මේ වගේම එකක්. So don't bother about on that. right? අපි මේ දෙන්න ගැන කතා කරලා session එක ඉවර කරමු. ඊළඟ දවසේ අපි second paper එක කතා කරමු. So yeah, 4090 is about how we are what is the about the output of the Python program, right? So මේ වගේ එකක් ඔයගලන්ට very possible to come, right? So here in data we got 5 1 23 10 and -3, right? So these things will have the indexes like 0 1 2 3 and 4, right? So from this point to this point it's a function. So to function to get execute, there should be a calling statement. So this is the calling statement. So it's called with the data parameter inside it, the data variable inside it. ඒ කියන්නේ function එකට call කරනකොට මෙන්න මෙයාව pass කරනවා function එකට. එයා pass වුණාම ඒ pass වෙන කෙනාව හම්බෙන්නේ a කියන කෙනාට. right? So in other words, this same list equals to a. right? So now the things are happened inside the function now onwards. So inside the function there are variable I, variable c, right? And I is equals to 1, c is equal to a0. a0 means 5. a කියලා කියන්නේ මේ list එකමනේ. ඒතර list එකේ 0th index එක අදාළ අගය, ඒ කියන්නේ 5. So then it says while I less than len a. Len a කියලා කියන්නේ what? Number of items 5. So I is 1, 1 is less than 5. Then it says if ai larger than c. If ai means a wala first index එක. ai means 1. So here they consider 1, whether 1 is larger than c means 5, which is not, so it is not going to come inside. And it goes here and increase the value of I by 1. So I will become 2. Right? Then we'll go here and see whether I is less than len a. So I is 2, len a is 5, less than, true. So comes inside. If ai larger than c, I is 2 now, ai means 23. So here they consider 23 larger than c means 5. So it is, so it comes to the come to execute this particular line. So it says ai equals to c. AI means A2. A2 means 23. 23 will be assigned to Z. So C will become 23. Then I will be increased to 3 and goes up again. I is less than len A. Yes, it is. So if AI larger than C, now I is 3. AI means 10. 10 is not larger than 23 because C's value is 23 now. So C equals AI not going to happen, and it will increase the I by 1. So I will become 4. So once I is become 4, AI is become minus 4. Minus 4 is not larger than 23. So again, this is not happening. I will be increasing by 1. So I will be 5. Once 5 is there, so I is not larger than len A. These things are equal. So it stops. Right? Iteration stops. Then after the iteration, they say return C. Who is C? C is 23. So he is the one, right? C is the one which replace this particular calling. Right? So it will print 23, which is being returned from the function. So C when return when මෙයා වෙනුවට මෙතන වැටෙන්නේ print කරන්න C කියලා. Right? So C's value is 23. So 23 is printed. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so the very last one, the file operation. Now it says F1 open input.txt. So input.txt given here, right, which is nimal, 30, 60, saman, 80, 45, right? So it is given here. So this file will be referred by the F1 file object. And the next one says F2 open output.txt, which is going to be the output, right? And it is open to write. So that means output.txt file will be open and cursor will be at the very beginning of the document. And nothing is there inside the document since it is open in write access modifier. තිබ්බොත් දෙයක් ඒක delete කරලා දාලා cursor එක මුල ඉඳලා බලාගෙන ඉන්නවා ලියාලා. input.txt එකේ cursor එක තියෙන්නේ මේ මුල තමයි. read කරනකොට file එකේ beginning වල තමයි cursor එක තියෙන්නේ. So then it says line equals f1.readLine. So that means read line means it will take this very first line. පළවෙනි line එක කියවලා ගන්න read line කියන එකේ. So that will be assigned to the variable line. And here they say while line. While line, once it says while line, if line contains a value, it indicates 1. If line contains no value, it indicates 0. So for the moment, line has a value. පළවෙනි පේලිය තමයි value එක විදිහට තියෙන්නේ මේක. ඒක නිසා ඒක true කියලා පෙන්නනවා. Right? So then it will move to the inside. Inside it says line.strip dot split by a comma. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ line එක දැන් line කියන variable එකට අයිති වෙලානේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ line එකේ strip කරන්න කිව්වම වෙන්නේ ඉස්සරහිනුයි පිටිපස්සෙනුයි තියෙන leading and the tailing spaces will be deleted. ඉස්සරහින්ම සහ පිටිපස්සෙන්ම තියෙන spaces will be deleted. ඒ කියන්නේ හරියටම මේ data ටික විතරක් cut කරලා ගන්නවා. Right? So then after it says split it from comma. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ nimal 3060 කියන එක comma එකෙන් separate කරලා data එකට assign කරනවා list එකක්. ඒ list එකේ තියෙනවා nimal කියලා string එකක්. ඊළඟ data එක 30 කියලා string එකක් තියෙනවා 60 කියලා string එකක් තියෙනවා. Now this is a list which has 3 values in it. In here they say convert data 1 into float. Then data කියලා කියන්නේ මේ list එකට. මේකට values තියෙනවා 0 1 2. එතකොට data 1 කියලා කියන්නේ 30. 30 ව float එකක් කරන්න. That means 30.0 will be there. Data 2 එකත් float එකක් කරගන්න 60.0. So the addition is going to be the total. So 90.0. Right? So then total like a 90.0. Then it says f2.write. Here's the output formatting has happened. 4 curly braces and a slash n is there. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ output.txt එකේ දේවල් හතරක් ලියනවා කමා එකෙන් separate කරලා ඊට පස්සේ cursor එක පහළට අරගෙන යනවා. That is what it says from here. So for the curly braces, these are the things they are going to assign. Data 0, data 1, data 2 and total. The file එකේ ලියවෙන්නේ data 0 කියන එක නිමල් කියලා ලියවෙනවා. Comma data 1 30 කියලා ලියවෙනවා. Data 2 60 කියලා ලියවෙනවා. Total as 90.0. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ ඔය පළවෙනි line එක output.txt එකේ මේ විදිහට තමයි ලියවෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඉතිරි lines ටිකත් ඔය විදිහටම තමයි මොකද ඊළඟට මෙතන තියෙනවා read line කරන්න කියලා. ඒක line එකට assign කරන්න කියනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ තව line එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක කියෙව්වා ඊට පස්සේ ඉස්සරහයි පිටිපස්සේ තියෙන දේවල් සම්පූර්ණයෙන් අස් කරා spaces ඊට පස්සේ ආව comma එකකින් split කරා දැන් මෙතන ඉන්නේ සමාන 80 45 ඊට පස්සේ total එක එන්නේ 80.0 plus 45.0 125.0 right පස්සේ type මේ print වෙනවා write වෙනවා සමාන comma 30 comma 45 comma 100 and I'm sorry, not 135, 75. It's an 80. 80 plus 45, 125, 125.0. Right? And yeah, that's going to be your answer. එතකොට ඔය විදිහට එන්නේ හතරවෙනි answer එකනේ. හතරවෙනි answer එක තමයි ඔයගලන්ට උත්තරේ විදිහට ගන්න තියෙන්නේ. Okay, any questions, people? We are done with the first paper of 2011. Have your total marks, right? How many out of අපි මේකේ out of syllabus කීයක් ගියාද? Out of syllabus ගියා 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah. We got 5 out of syllabus questions. So mark it from 45. 45 වලින් කීයද කියලා දාගන්න. Right? So get ready to the second paper of the 2011. Right? Last bit in the ඊළඟ දවසේ අපි ඒක ටක් ගාලා කතා බහ කරලා ඉවර කරනවා. Right? ඒ නිසා paper එක කරලා තියාගන්න හරියට. Right? ඒ ටික සූදානම් කරලා තියාගන්න නැත්නම් අපරාධයි. ඔයගොල්ලෝ නිකන් ඇවිල්ලා අහගෙන ඉන්න එක. Right? paper එකේ තියෙන හැම question එකක්ම try කරන්න because you need the practice. Right? Okay, people. So if we don't have any question, we can end the session from here. I'll meet you next week for the very same time. Right? දැන් ළමයි සමහර වෙලාවට පැය දෙකට වඩා වැඩිපුර අපිට කතා කරන්න වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So be prepared. Right? මම පැය දෙකෙන් ඉවර කරන්න පුළුවන් උපරිමේ try කරනවා මොකද මට 11 මාට class එක තියෙන නිසා. Right? Let's see how it's going to happen. Right? Okay. Thank you very much, people. I'll end the session from here. Right? So I'll meet you on next week for the same time. Right? Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.